Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope that you guys are all having a good start to the morning. I'm gonna start. I said sharing my screen. I'm already sharing my screen. Nice, nice. Let's see. All right. There we go. Natural gas with a huge sell-off. This didn't come at a big surprise, right? For those that tuned in to yesterday's Sunday Stock Talk. Although the direction for natural gas right now is a descending pattern, that's obviously, can change as it aggressively sold off since the market literally just opened 2 minutes ago. So I did take one trade. Hopefully, I'll try not to spend it all in one place, but it was only $40. It was a very small trade, just so you guys can see. This was during the pre-market session. I was just trying to get a feel of kind of what was going on. So I got in at 107.10 and sold at 107.50. And this was at 5:46 a.m. and then I sold at 6:02. So nothing crazy. My position size wasn't big. Natural gas was selling off at the time, right? So it was showing signs of a descending pattern. And yeah, I was just trying to get a feel of the morning and to see if natural gas was going to continue to sell off. And I was trying to test the waters with a small position size. So it could have gone either way, right? But because the overall direction of natural gas was selling off, then obviously played out in my favor. So right now, one of the things that we're seeing is natural gas beginning to pick up. It's still trading between the middle and bottom VWAP. So again, if you're trying to see if it actually begins to sell off, let's wait for those lower low confirmations, right? So if I'm not mistaken, /CL is also selling off due to the negative news. I think it's a lot easier to see on the 1-day 5-minute chart. So again, this is in favor of DWT. So pushed up DWT quite a bit, 4.76%. And then on natural gas, or on DGAS, right, we're up about 13%. So right now, definitely riding that middle VWAP. We're not making higher highs right now on DGAS, so there's no reason to force that entry. And yeah, so it looks like it's approaching that middle VWAP. So you guys broke middle VWAP. It's not really you guys that I care too much about. It's more about natural gas and how that's trading. So this is what I have a little bit more of a focus on. It's just me, but this is what I would pay a little bit more attention to, as I feel like it's. I have a little bit more to trade off of, right? So as of right now, natural gas looking a little bit more on the overbought side based off of recent patterns. We don't know. Again, this is one of the things that I've tried to repeat is we don't know if the overall direction is going to change because the market literally just opened. We have noticed that happens pretty often. So if there's any uncertainty that you might have, don't even take the position. It's not even worth it, right? To put yourself in that, just position that you'll end up regretting or wasting a day trade on. So I have on my second screen right on over here. Once /NQ decides to load, I've been having issues with. There it goes. So I've been having issues with. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so natural gas pulling back a little bit. There's a pullback. It's not selling off just yet, but definitely a little bit of a pullback. So I would cover profits. It would make sense, right? So, Mr. Torres, it would definitely make sense on why someone would lock in profits on natural gas or on you guys right now, but the direction can change, so that's why I was just explaining kind of both sides. So it looks like we had a pretty aggressive sell-off on /NQ. It's been selling off, so middle bottom reversing now. So it looks like literally as soon as the market opened, it began to almost reverse, but it's selling off once again. So we'll see where it goes from here. We'll see if there's an actual break of pattern. I wanted to ask you guys, is there anything that you have a big focus on right now? So are you just watching natural gas? Are you watching crude oil? Are you trading something, like blue chips? Like what is it that you're focused on right now? So hey, what's going on, Brad? What's up? Watching /CL. So we got JNUG. So we have a couple of you watching then gold, right? 300 shares on DWT. Okay, we have another person focusing on gold. So you're focused on the descending pattern on crude oil. So again, market just opened, right? So that overall direction can change. Not a bad idea to maybe wait a little bit. Depends on how aggressive your position is. 300 shares of DWT. What is that? I don't know what that would mean for your account size, right? So focused on consistent 1% gain. I like that, Courage Garage. I've been having if you think about it with the dollar amount that I've been trading with per position and what I've been able to hit, we'll see if this week plays out the same as the past 3 weeks, but I've been feeling much more confident with my trades. My position size isn't the most aggressive. The dollar amount that I'm making isn't like an unreal amount of money. We're not talking about the thousands like every single day, but it's been $500 consistently, and I've really been enjoying it. Trading has now become more of, again, just something that I do within the mornings and not something that I have to stress about throughout the entire rest of the day. And it's been much more relaxing as it allows me to focus on my other work, right? Working with you guys, right? Working on the properties and just being able to enjoy the day. So I definitely have been liking it. So we got forward slash, what'd you say? Huge push on CL. We are seeing that, yep. We are seeing natural gas to begin to, really ride this EMA line. So we'll see if we actually begin to make lower lows here. The MACD and the RSI look good, which means that it's in favor of degas, but we'll see what actually happens. All right. What's going on, Billy the Kid? What are the correlating ETFs for /NQ? Oh, yep, he got you. SQs and TQs. Sorry about that. I just saw it. What's going on, Jonathan? Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully, I thought I was well rested at 5 o'clock. So as you guys saw, my first position was I was up a little bit before then. Not crazy amount, like 5:30, which again isn't too early, but. Here goes /NQ. Okay, I'm liking it. I don't know, but then we're also showing signs of these like descending highs. Do you see it? Do you think I'm overthinking it? We have descending highs here. Do you think that this is the very early stages of a change of direction? What do you guys think? No, there it goes. It's getting rejected once again. Maybe I should just wait a little bit more, right? A little bit more for confirmation. Okay. Yeah, it could be just a pullback. I agree. I mean, it's not like there's no super clear direction right now. I'm just trying to see how it was trading during the entire pre-market session and then how it's trading right now, right? Think it's not looking super clear. Overthink it too much every time. Yeah. What's going on, Drew Fit? What's up? What's up? I like that, Logan. So definitely, I mean, I don't know how it would be 21%. There it goes. We got D-gas pushing up. I thought you guys was only down 13%. Maybe from when you were holding, right? If you were holding. Okay, well, that definitely is a, steep loss to take. But I think one of the things that when everyone, and I think we could all agree, yeah, okay. So I think that we can all agree that one of my biggest, or most common questions from the past 2 to 3 weeks, even for the past month, has been should I buy and hold you guys? And every single time, I would remind everyone that, yeah, natural gas tends to do well during this time of year, but it definitely doesn't have to, right? Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. And that's why I had such a huge focus on day trading and, emphasizing the importance that natural gas was super overbought. It wouldn't be such a surprise if it were to pull back. I didn't expect it to pull back as much as it did, but I tried to be that reminder just because in my experience, things have, prepared to play out a certain way, and then they just change directions due to news, especially with current market conditions. So It sucks, and it's a tough pill to swallow for sure. But if you can learn from it, and if you could consistently remind yourself like what it's like right now when something doesn't go according to plan, you almost feel invincible, right? When natural gas was just going in your favor, and you just continue to trade it, right? But then it just takes literally, one day like this where it just gives back all your profits, and I think that we've all been there, right? But again, it's the way I think that people approach it. So if you're approaching it with like trading to learn and not so much about like a make it or break it of like trading to profit right away or maximizing your profits every single time, it's like we had this little saying, and I saw someone say it within our Sunday stock talk yesterday. And it's like no one goes broke by locking in profits, right? So if you just continue to have that mindset, like, yeah, you're not making the most money. Like, being completely honest, the past 3 weeks, think about it. It's been it's not been very common that I've had over $1,000 day, right? It's almost been $500 every single day. That's been my focus, and it's a great amount of money, but it's not unreal, right? Especially with what I'm trading with and stuff like that. But it's just that consistent reminder that I would rather focus on being consistent and feeling comfortable with what I'm doing rather than trying to make it or break it every single time. But it really comes down to your approach, right? If you're okay with approaching it in a very aggressive way, sometimes the payout or the reward can be great, but also sometimes, it could hurt. So just a little friendly reminder, right? There it goes. So congrats to all those that got into BGAS. I was a little slow to pull the trigger on this one. Here it goes. We got natural gas. Of course, Logan. What's going on, Jamel? What's up? Cup and handle on /CL. Yeah. It's such a consistent descending pattern, and I know that it can change directions. All I'm saying is that it was getting rejected multiple times at this middle VWAP area, right? If it wasn't at it, it was a little bit above it, and I think on the 1 day 5 minute chart, it's a little bit more clear. You decide, right? Can it continue to push up? Yeah, but it's also more, these indicators are kind of contradicting one another. The RSI is showing that it's overbought. The MACD is showing that it still has more margin to go. So however comfortable it is that you feel. It's been 14 minutes since the market's opened. No reason to have to force a trade. No reason to even take a trade, right? If you don't see value in it or anything like that. There it goes. Natural gas did not sell off as much as I thought it would. So pulled back, but it's not really making lower lows anymore. So waiting on the higher highs on /CL. Jamal, I like that. I wanted to ask you guys, based off of your performance last week, I don't know if it was good. I don't know if it was bad, right? What are some takeaways that you have? I don't know if you guys ever revisit this or try to like self-evaluate yourself and think about what you did well, what you could have done better, right? One of the things that I felt like last week that I did, I don't know if it was even last week. I think it was 2 weeks ago when I took a loss, but it was like $38 or something like that. It felt so good that although it was a red day, I felt so proud of myself that I kept my losses super small. And every single day, again, it wasn't about making the most money, but I made $500 literally like every single day. And I felt super comfortable doing it, and it felt good, right? And although, again, it wasn't the most money, it just felt good to be that consistent. So I wanted to ask you guys, based off of your performance last week, okay, so we have people saying don't hold earnings, take profits, cut losses, don't hold overnight, lock in profits, and FOMO. So stick to your plan when you reach your target. I really like that. And I think, Hector, only people that experience that when they get, not I don't want to say greedy, but when you get to that price point, right, that you know that you originally thought of selling, but you just continue to hold, and then it changes direction, and then you maybe go from green to red. Less emotional trading and just walk away having a max loss. Okay, I like that, Logan. New to trading, deciding I'm no longer holding overnight because I can't manage. Yeah, Can't manage risk overnight. Yep, small position sizes and quit. Okay, I like that. And walk away when you're up 1%. I like that. And I don't think enough people try it out, but position size, I think, small position size is different for everyone, right? It depends on what you're trading with, and it depends on what you're okay with, losing. Some people, if they lose $100 or $200 within the day, that's devastating, right? For someone that might be trading with a lot more money, it's not that bad. So don't ask what your max, loss should be. You should already, before you even take a trade, you should know what that is. Don't force a trade because you can. I like that, Griffin. Now it's 250. I like that. So last month my goal was $500 a day with 10K a month, and now it's $250 a day. I like that. And again, not everyone is okay with accepting to reduce their dollar amount. The amount of questions that I got of asking me why did I reduce my goal of $1,000 a day down to 500, and I continue to remind people is like I reduced it because I can and because I could, saw myself chasing the dollar amount more than I was the trade or the opportunity. And this goes right hand in hand with Mullen, right? Just wait for the opportunity. I think that once you understand that, that's great. Are we gonna find a reversal here? Ooh, nice. Okay. I go for percentages, not dollar amount. I like that. Yeah, /CL is doing great. It's recovering great, right? My biggest, again, sorry to annoy you guys. I'm just a big believer in locking in profits, and this is an overall descending pattern on the day. There's no question that it's overbought, it's overextended. So I'm just reminding you, if there's ever a time to lock in profits or to follow with a stop loss, might not be the worst idea. Just remember the dollar amount, maybe the extra little amount of money that you can make, you're not going to care about 5 years from now. So again, if you're always thinking about your future and working towards a better future, then allow your actions from today, represent that. So progress of getting in a good position. Yeah. Or not touch something. This is a great example. Yeah. I did trade, I think one day last week, I did trade crude oil, but crude oil kind of like, I've had amazing days trading crude oil, but I've also had pretty rough days trading crude oil because it's a little bit more volatile. I don't know if you guys could agree, but I think crude oil, in my experience trading, is more aggressive than natural gas. And some people work really well with that, but it felt good. And I think Sergey can agree as well. It felt good not trading crude oil too much. So I really enjoyed your interview with Caleb Maddox. You both have, appreciate it. Yeah, I've learned a lot. Ricky, you should tell us when you're getting in and out of your trades so we can do the same trades as well. No, that's exactly what we want to avoid. That's not the whole purpose of these live trading videos. I don't know if that was a joke. Yeah, but I do agree. I've learned a lot from Caleb, and the times that I've talked to him and stuff like that. He's just so well spoken, and I know, yeah, he's an interesting kid. He's 17 years old. Can you guys believe that? 17, and he just has like a great, I think, great mindset, great speaker. He reminds me like a little mini Tony Robbins. I don't know about you guys, but every time I'm around him, it's just like he's like a preacher, right? Doesn't smart enough to. Oh, I didn't know Tony Robbins. I don't watch too much of him. I just know he's like motivational speaker. Oh, natural gas is changing directions. Look at that. Does that mean that you don't like swing trading as much as day trading? I don't know what I said that would hint on that. I don't know where you got. I don't swing trade as much as I used to before, but I wouldn't say that I don't like it as much. It's just I don't feel as comfortable, right? When there's less consistency. Here we go. Oh, because I don't like holding stocks overnight. Yeah, and I feel kind of like a broken record sometimes because I say this like every single day. I say it to you guys every single day, and then I have to go live on YouTube, and then I say it every single day there too. Um, yeah, I don't like holding stocks overnight. I think this has been a pretty common practice of mine of not holding anything overnight for the past maybe year, and not even the full year, but the market's become a little bit more inconsistent, and because of that, I feel less comfortable holding, right? When there's less consistency, it makes sense on why you would feel less comfortable holding. And I noticed it. It wasn't even just like, oh, I noticed the market's more inconsistent. I was holding stuff overnight and it was not going according to plan. So I just, again, a little self evaluation. I realized that, hey, it's probably in my best interest to, after making these number of mistakes, to not hold all these things overnight. And yeah, it's nothing crazy that, I did. It's just over time as you begin to practice and you begin to make mistakes, you know, it doesn't matter like how refined of a trader you are. Over time, the market's always changing. So I think this is for every market, right? Or everything that you pursue. There's always going to be moments where things begin to change and you either adapt with it and change with it or um, kind of get left behind, right? There we go. You going to the 10x Curly conference. No, I don't go to those conferences, but if you're going, yeah, wish you good luck and hope it plays out well for you. I don't know. Is that the like Grant Cardone thing, right? There it goes. Crude oil is back at 2.65 team. Sorry, natural gas is. A lot of your viewers don't have $100,000 like you to trade with $500 to $1,000. I think that would really help us. I appreciate the suggestion, Glory Boys. But again, my focus is not to trade with the same dollar amount that you might be, as that has nothing to do, right? If I'm focusing on a trade, I'm not focused on, again, my biggest focus has been just trying to, make the 1% a day and with a smaller dollar amount in my eyes. And it's percentage growth that I've been trying to focus on and not the dollar amount. So that's exactly why I reduced it. Um, but I appreciate the suggestion. It's just I'm comfortable with what I'm trading with right now. And I think a lot of people can agree that they don't care about how much I trade with. They, when I explain my trades, if you see the video on Friday, I explained why I entered, why I sold, and yeah, just I went ahead with that on that. So focused on the opportunity, not so much about the dollar amount. So I'm going to the 10x conference. $2,391 later. I hope it's worth. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't know how much it was. I didn't know it was that expensive. Here it goes. All right. What? Yeah, it's pushing up. It's not pushing up that much. I don't know. I didn't know I had set my alert there. Is my thing delayed? No, right? Okay. I felt like I was missing something. Yeah. How we doing over here with crude oil? Oh, a little bit. Sign of a resistance. How many of you right now are still in DWT? And you know what question's going to be next. For those that are still in DWT, Are you in it as a day trade? Are you in it as a swing trade? Or why have you not sold already? I'm genuinely asking. I personally think whoa, natural gas. I personally think crude oil is super overbought. No? Is that just me? It's overbought and it potentially is due for a pullback. Look at that quick change of direction. I'm not liking this right now. Oh, shoot. Wait, I meant how many of you guys are still in UWT? I just had the biggest brain fart ever. You guys might be like, what the heck? Why? What do you mean? Sorry. I got confused with the inverses. But crude oil is overbought, which means that UWT is overbought. So you're watching. I'm so sorry. Yeah. It's still early for either one, right? Because we don't know if crude oil is going to continue to push up, which means we don't know if UWT is going to continue to push up. But for those that are in UWT, have you guys locked in profits? And this is a perfect reason, right? Why we don't copy trades, right? Because sometimes we can make mistakes. So, but that was just more with me saying stuff. Let's see. Okay, I like this. I'll set my alert as well. I'm not sure if I'm gonna trade it just because I don't know. I've been feeling a little indifferent about crude oil recently. So, but yeah, let's see. Okay, I see that, Steve. Random questions. Have you watched The Game Changer on Netflix? I think you said Game of Thrones. No, I have not. The Game Changer. No, I haven't. Okay, I'll look more into that, Aaron. I appreciate you letting us know. Since the market's opened, right? 7:30. All we've been doing is consolidating within this general area. No clear direction on crude oil. Let's see. On natural gas. Jesus, man. I'm sorry. Um, I have to watch what ETFs and what futures I'm watching. GoPro. We got Dr. Jennifer. Okay. So I don't know, Dr. Jennifer, and again, this is just me. I'm very familiar with GoPro and how it's been trading recently, and the reason why is one of my buddies has been in GoPro since sub $4, and he's been keeping me up to date. All I'm gonna tell you is the same thing I told him. Um, he says he's a big believer in the company. Great. I love GoPro and all it stands for. Based off of removing what I think of it, based on the technicals, not fundamentals, nothing like that, right? Just technicals. I do agree that it is pulling back right now. I also do want to point out that it's an overall descending pattern, and there is no question that based off of its current performance, it doesn't normally perform like this. And because it's so overbought, that it would make sense that it could actually now begin to pull back. So that's all I wanted to say. I just thought that it was overbought on the 180-day chart. I agree that it is pulling back a little bit and it can continue to rally. I just think when thinking about its previous pattern and direction and how it's been trading before and the current price point, I think it's more overbought than oversold. And yeah, so I'm really excited to follow up with you, Dr. Jennifer, and hear how it performs for you. But I just wanted to give you my 2 cents, right, for what that's worth. CROX, let's check that out. So I like that you brought this one up. I haven't talked about CROX in a while. Yeah, to an extent, it's been so consistently pushing up. I just wouldn't see this to be like a great opportunity, right? It doesn't have huge margins or anything like that. It's consistent, but it's also super overbought that it has a lot of pullback potential. It's not like a great deal. Crocs has been killing it. And I think for, because of that consistency aspect, 100%. I just think that we might be a little bit too late to the game. But if it continues to push up, then let's follow up with it. But I wouldn't be too surprised if it were to begin to pull back, right? Natural gas pushing up once again. /CL is still pushing up. Okay. Again, this is why we don't go in too early, right? So, ooh, it made higher highs. Crude oil can be devastating. Crude oil, like I've been in positions where I think that crude oil is super overbought. I go into DWT and it just continues. And it's annoying because you're just like, I'm literally going to be selling at the bottom. But that's not even the point. It's just like crude oil is just sometimes either so bullish or so bearish that it doesn't matter what the indicator is saying. It doesn't matter, what's happening. It just rallies. And it's kind of scary. It's cool. It's cool when you're with the flow. When you're against the flow, you're just like, holy crap, like this thing needs to stop. Crude oil is a savage. Yeah, it's a little different, right? And if you ever want to test it, you can test it with like one share. Don't put too much into it, and you can just test it out and see how it performs. It happened. It definitely made sense, Drew Fit, on the technical side, like why you were watching crude oil and DWT and stuff like that. But let's be honest, right? If it were to reverse, you have a lot of margin. So this little, margin that you might have like managed your risk at, if crude oil does begin to sell off, you have a lot of margin to recover. So you're good on that. So I'm happy to hear that you managed your risk. Now let's set those alerts, stay patient, allow the opportunity to present itself, and be ready to attack when, we get that confirmation. So yeah, got to go on small positions on oil. Yeah, I've learned the hard way when trading crude oil. So, but yeah. Okay. I saw a couple of you talk about Tesla. How's that doing today? Oh, wow. Okay. Tesla pushing to make higher highs. There it goes. Still looking bullish. Congrats. That's surprising, right? Do you ever plan on getting into options? No, it's just not been something that's been in my best interest. People usually ask why. The way I view it is kind of like high risk, high reward, and works out well for some people, not too much for others. So, and because of the inconsistency lately, I'm just not a huge fan. But again, you never know until you try. So you guys do you if you guys have ever wanted to try into it, but please just approach it with, trading still to learn, right? You guys hit 17 like you said last night. Well, anyone could have seen that, Ricky. The reason why is I saw where natural gas. I mean, I literally trade natural gas almost every single day, right? And I remember when natural gas was sub 2.70 and where that put you guys. I didn't expect it to continue to sell off. I actually thought that natural gas was going to recover a little bit during the extended hours session. But no, it sold off. So I was like, okay, I'll take that little position on Diaz. Yeah, once you begin to really focus on the future and you focus on the correlating ETF and ETN, I mean, the ETF and ETN still most likely decays over time, but you can get a rough estimate of where, that would put it at. So. Brian, I like if when natural gas moves like 1%, then the correlating future or ETF and ETN moves 3%. So I like the leverage. That's why I day trade it. I don't hold it, right? So I'd still just day trade it, but I like the difference in leverage. So here it goes. We're kind of trading just within this little channel. Do you guys see this? No, there it goes. Do you guys see this? Since the market has opened, even during the pre-market session, I like that. I think we got a suggestion here. It was AEO, right? Thank you again, Justin. Oh, watch out for this. Alert's about to get triggered. Watch out for this. Looking overextended, right? And there it goes, beginning to pull back. Look at the MACD, look at the RSI. Definitely showing signs of potential pullback, especially with its performance on Friday. I don't think American Eagle has been doing too hot. Yeah, it's an overall descending pattern. So look at where it's at also on the 180-day chart. Yes, it can continue to uptrend. I wouldn't try to catch it in this very early stage if it actually begins to uptrend. The reason why is because looking at previous patterns, don't think that you are catching it at the perfect time. That I think that's a very like hopeful mentality to have. Looking at previous patterns, we could see lower lows and lower highs. Looking at where it's at right now, it doesn't normally hold very well above the SMA line. It doesn't hold. You can see it normally continues to sell off and make lower lows and trades below the SMA line. So right now that we're catching it above the SMA line, it's probably not in our best interest to hold based off previous patterns. Can it push up? Can this thing continue to uptrend? Is this in the very beginning stages of an overall reversal? Possibly, just like anything can happen. But overall, based off of what we could actually see, it's more likely able to pull back than it is to continue to uptrend. So gonna check the market later. Thanks for the good live stream. Oh, appreciate that, Drew. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, I need to start reading more as well. Every time I talk to Caleb, it reminds me how much I need to start reading again. Have you ever bag held? How long ago? I wouldn't call it bag holding. I don't like hold stuff overnight, right? So that's just like a rule of mine, right? But have I held a position longer than I should have as it's not going according to plan, even within the day? Of course. I don't know when. I do it. I'm human. Excuse me. I just sneezed and I didn't want to be too loud. So I love how your Learn Plan Profit program is not a monthly subscription. Of course. Yeah. He did drip because I took an L with Gio. Oh wow, that was quite a while ago. That had to be over a year ago, almost 2 years now. Yeah, no, I remember DRIP. Yeah, but that's also when I used to swing trade. So no, but that was definitely bag holding. So oh my goodness. I like that. So long ago, the worst loss I have seen you take was after the natural gas report like a year ago. I appreciate that, but no, I took a pretty big loss this year too. 4.2K, I think. 4 point, yeah. So you got dripped out for sure. No, that was definitely a rough. And I was actually trading with a lot less back then. So if you think about it percentage wise, that's probably one of my bigger losses. Wow, RSI still doesn't confirm. Yeah, this thing is consolidating. I'm watching it, but not really clear right now. Let's see what this is. Look at this. Holy smokes. Look at that. Wow. This is crazy. Natural gas consolidation city. Yep. This could be big. Crude oil does not have to sell off. Let's remember that, right? But if it does, it could be a pretty big opportunity. But yeah, I think because it's not just a technical reason, right, on why crude oil is pushing. So we really began to see, holy smokes, look at that. It just shot up even more, 557.28. So this was right around like early 7 o'clock that we began to see a change of direction. So natural gas falls sharply on weather forecast. Contain price, so price of $78. Okay. Yeah, you can see the buildup of volume, right? Look at that. Do you guys see my volume bars right here? Look at that buildup. %. Freaking yikes. My goodness. So, what was the good news you were talking about in crude oil? There's a couple different things. There's 3 different articles that I was reading, but I think the biggest reason why would have to be because of what is it? It's I think they cut production on oil right now, or they're slowing down production, and because of that, um, they're gonna the overall demand. Well, there'll be in a sense less supply, right, to keep up with the demand. Therefore, they can charge more. So, but there's also a surplus in supply. So I think that's why. So, but look a little bit more into it. I'm not exactly sure if that's still the reason why. I also read this too. Yeah, that Iran said that they just I don't know if it was Iran, but that they discovered 50 billion. I don't know how they discover that. Like 50 billion oil. Yeah. How do you just like holy hell? There's 50 billion oil. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Okay. Sheesh, dude. Wow. Market's kind of all over the place today. Your consistency has been way better the recent weeks. Nice work. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I agree. Trading with less, focusing more on consistency. So it's not a glorious way of trading, right? But you don't have to be glorious to feel good about what you're doing. I'm trying to read all of these. I do apologize. Here's a call out here. Okay. Okay. I don't know. So what I was looking here is that it's been selling off, right? It's been showing signs of a consistent descending pattern. Earnings came out that acted as a negative catalyst that drove it down even more aggressive. So there's like a double negative there, right? And 2 negatives with trading do not necessarily make a positive. And uh, this could have obviously been it could have aggressively over like sold off, and there's no question about that. But because it's been selling off so consistently, I don't know if it can continue to sell off. I do agree that it's very oversold. It's very it could be viewed as like it's a good deal. I wouldn't say it's a good buy though. The just direction is not in your favor. Can definitely see why someone would add this to their watch list, right? As it had a pretty consistent pattern, it aggressively oversold, um, and I would just say that this is potentially in the very early stages of a reversal, but we don't know. We don't know if this is going to continue to sell off. So there's a lot of like uncertainty with its direction, and I would like that. I don't know about you, right? But we don't know if it's going to continue to sell off. So we'll set alerts on both sides, and if you're so certain that it's going to reverse, then why not just give it time, set your alerts, and slowly add to your position size once it begins to make more sense. I would love to follow up with you on this and see how it performs for you and how you set up your plan. So make a video giving strangers a ride in the McLaren, and I'll be that stranger and act like I'm surprised when you drive up. Sounds good. Um, You guys are funny. I let Weston take the McLaren on a date last week or 2 weeks ago. That was interesting. So, how's the property going so far? Armani, it's honestly going so well that like I think the only thing that we need to work on are the countertops now. So one of my to-do lists, like they open at 9 o'clock. I have to go visit some granite places, um, but it's gonna take a while to get it all. So I don't know if we're gonna 100% go with granite, but it takes a really long time, and I'm still gonna go back and forth with Lenny, and it's super expensive. So he probably brought it back for that today. Marble too. Marble and granite, for all the contractors and the ones that are really well aware. Um, the house is pretty much all done. The house, the interior, exterior, I believe that's all painted. We bought all the new appliances, all the new um, things that we had to. The tile is replaced, everything, the landscaping, all that's all done. Nick handled everything all last week. Now it's just the countertops. The reason I'm thinking about not going for granite is obviously someone's first choice, granite or marble, right? It's the most like highest end type of countertops and stuff like that. But I have to buy the granite, and then it takes them, if I'm not mistaken, 2 weeks to cut it up and install it and all that. And I'm just thinking about it like, I don't know if you know, it's worth it to wait 2 weeks to just have the house sitting there and waiting for that, or I can just go and get it installed today and pretty much have the house all ready by the end of the week to be listed already for sale. So, does granite look like countertops? Yeah, but it's not granite. So I want to talk to Lenny a little bit more about it. So this is a little obstacle or maybe a debate, right, that we can all have about what to do. So. Wow, you guys are freaking really well versed with this. Look into prefab slabs that you can get killer deals on. Okay. Painted concrete hey, I like that. Painted concrete, I really like that. That would be me and you, right? Like, I like that look. This is kind of like a family home, and I don't know if families would like to get that. So, quartz. Yeah. People love quartz. Okay, I'll write that down. I don't know even what that is. So I'm learning something new. How do you even spell that? All right. With a Z. Look at that, team. Quartz still takes 2 weeks. Ah. Okay. What do we think about natural gas, team? I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. It's been 1 hour and I've yet to take a position. But I don't think there's no clear direction. Am I wrong? Am I wrong here? Or is there no clear direction right now? Yeah, I don't, I kind of just sitting there, right? Should we just jump into /CL UWT? A little rally with the boys or what? Or is it overbought enough that would that just be due to FOMO and the fear of missing out? What? What do we think? Because there's a clear direction obviously here, but not a good deal, right? Yeah. I don't trade the top. Probably not. Yeah. What do you guys think we should do? Set alerts. Oh, look at this. Oh yeah, Lucas, I'll make sure I break down JNIC. Sorry about that. I didn't see your message. Oh, that's pretty beast. I'll have to see what I am doing this week. And where's? Oh, look at this. I'm pretty sure that stadium's pretty far for me. I'll have to double check. I've never been to a basketball game. Do you guys see this? Let's see. Hey, maybe not the worst idea. We'll see. What do you guys think? Ooh. How we looking? Let's see. I'll message you on Discord about it. All right, sounds good. I appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you for the invite. Wait, do you guys see this? I have to make sure that we set some form of risk management, right? Jesus, come on, dude. Yo! Not right now, crude oil. It wasn't so much about specific. So that's a good question, Franklin. So one of the things that I do want to point out is that every indicator while looking at crude oil. So when looking at crude oil, every indicator was hinting that crude oil was overbought, that it's overextended, the MACD, all of that. But crude oil was so bullish that it didn't matter what the indicators were saying because the overall pattern and direction was in favor of crude oil. So because of that, it wasn't so much about indicators or anything like that. What I was more focused on was the actual direction and the way that it was heading. So it actually began to pull back, and it was the first time that it broke below the EMA line. So I guess the only real indicator that I was looking at was the EMA line because it was validating the EMA line so much, right? And then once we began to see it break below the EMA line, but I was so much more focused on the price action more than just the indicator itself. Does that make sense? Here it goes. DWT approaching back. So let's see how much we're down. That's kind of a lot for a very small position size. No? I don't like that. So here we go. Okay, sweet. Looks like we're still going to continue to have that bullish run on crude oil. Going to take a little loss for the boys, but hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I saw a lot of opportunity, right? Still managing my risk at 1% or less on the crude oil position, so with a very small position size. So, not bad. Ooh, I owe someone a breakdown. It was JNUG, right? So you said the 20-day 1 hour chart, if I'm not mistaken. So you're looking at this to be a little bit more on the oversold side. I do agree. I wouldn't be so much focused or so focused on just that, but it does look like it is at a support. but it's still selling off. So all these indicators are saying that it's a good deal and all that stuff. It doesn't matter if that price action does not follow. And if anything, right, looking at the 1 minute chart and how aggressive it's sold off, I can care less about what these indicators are telling me right now, and I would be so much more focused on the direction, and the direction is not in your favor right now on JDUG. So because of that, it's up to you. You can try to buy the dip, and it's kind of like a high risk, high reward. If it does confirm, of course, you bought at the best price, but based off of previous patterns, and if it doesn't, then you just put yourself in a very hopeful position. So that's all I want to say. So yeah, I think crude oil is going to continue to push up right now. I think that I'm going to get stop lossed out right now on DWT, but we'll see. I should be getting stop loss. Wait, where's my stop? It's at 5.1. Look at that. Down $49. Guys, I'm giving back all my monies. Look at that. I'm down $9. Oh. Little pullback for the boys. Definitely pulling back. So it's all good. Position size, not that bad. And hey, it made sense, right? It made sense on that quick little play could have played out pretty well. Yeah, so DWT, it follows the market pretty closely. I wouldn't say so much of JNAG, but it follows the overall market, and the overall market has an influence on gold, right? First time I beat Ricky. Hey. I like it. So profit evolution. I actually really like this question. So how do you determine the amount that you trade with, right? Or risking on the day trades? That's a great question, and I like the way that you asked that. So you saw my first couple of trades. I like to just mess around with a smaller position size. So it's probably like 1/10 or 1/5 of what I would normally trade with. I still don't just throw my money at anything. There still has to be an intention behind something, but I'm trying to get a feel of the market, right? If and when something does go according to plan, and if I got in with 2,000 shares, which is roughly about $9,000 on DWT. So I got in around this general area, right? I think it was like literally bought at, I think, the highest price point. Where? Yeah, 4.57. Perfect. I bought where everyone sold. But let's say that it would have gone according to plan. Let's say crude oil would have sold off and DWT would have kept pushing up. So let's say there's a consistent, the way that this thing was consistently selling off, it was consistently pushing up. Because there's that consistency aspect and there's that clear direction and it's going according to my plan, then I can add more to my position size as time goes on. How much? That's up to you to decide. How much do you know how much to add? It depends on how comfortable you feel with that position size. So my biggest focus is when I see an opportunity, I'll take a small trade just to get some skin in the game. You don't even have to do that. But once and if it does go according to plan, I'll add more to my position size. So that's the way that I'm not saying that that's the best way. That's just what has made sense to me. So if it doesn't go according to plan, like this is really not going according to plan, I can manage my risk and the loss is not devastating. You get me? It's more, I'm more focused on the actual trade and not hyperventilating on how much money I'm down. Make sense, right? Trying to feel comfortable with what it is that you're doing. So do you use the 2% rule? It's an example. 2% rule doesn't have to be, that you manage your risk at 2% or that you lock in profits at 2%. Everyone has different goals, different intentions. And, with the idea that it's just, I try to give these examples of I remember I made this Excel sheet of that growing your account 2.34%, every 3 trades or something like that. And people were so obsessed about just making that percentage. And it's just that's an example. It's all these numbers and all these figures that I give you about what I'm aiming for or where I manage my risk or my daily goal of 1%. Those are examples. You're not here to copy everything that I do. I think that we can all agree, right? When you understand the idea behind something, you can adjust it according to your own style. That's my goal for each and every single one of you, to have a better understanding. To have a better understanding of, what you're doing without having to copy someone step by step. So just understanding the idea and then moving from there. But yeah, crude oil, again, consolidating right now. I'm going to set my alerts. I don't want to spend too much time focused on crude oil. I don't care too much about it. My position size isn't anything crazy, so it's not like I'm going to make it or break it on this. And natural gas, we got an alert that it made lower lows, and there it goes. It consolidated enough. This makes sense. It's trading below the SMA line. The overall direction took over, and I think we'll see it a little bit more clear on the 1-day 5-minute chart, where, yeah, it's just beginning to show more signs of a sell-off and stuff like that. So look at the MACD. Whoa! Look at that. A little sell-off for the boys. I got it because I've been swinging. Hey, profit evolution. One of the things that I want to remind you is that, dude, it does not matter how much you're trading with. Like, that's the thing. It's just like, if you can still say that you're still trading to learn, right? You should not be trying to, in my eyes, it just doesn't make sense to maximize your profits on every single trade, because when you do that, yes, it could be very rewarding in the monetary aspect, but it could also be super devastating. And you just have to ask yourself, what do you want more? To make the most money right now within a very short period of time and then either make it or break it? Or do you want to really understand what you're doing, build yourself as a trader, and over time, begin to trade with more as you begin to, gain more experience? I think that could be a way of thinking about it. Trust me, I know that we're all trying to make our money, right? There's no question about that. All I want to remind you is the way that you approach something. You when it comes down to like approaching any profession, any career, it takes time. It takes time to build experience, confidence, and capital. Trading is no different, dude. Natural gas is ripping. Oh, and crude oil. Look at that. Woo-wee. Oh, I appreciate that. I don't know. Are you in the Arizona area? And do you have good deals? Let me know. No, I get that. And I get that, especially with like the smaller accounts, right? That it's not much money, but you just have to understand that, you're not in a position right now with even trading with that dollar amount to try to make the most anyways, right? So you can approach it in an aggressive way, but then you can gain that experience and be like, hey, was it even worth it, right? Or you can really try to build your experience, and as we begin to become more confident, you can begin to invest more money into your trading account, and then your returns will be more rewarding in the monetary aspect. So oh, I like that. Dude, look at this. Look at natural gas. And crude oil pushed right back up. Perfect. Matt, I have heard about that they do become a little bit more inconsistent. So I still really think it comes down to your approach or your intention. Uh, oh, I'm about to get stop lossed out. Oh, I should probably just sell here. I just didn't want to deal with it. Crude oil looks like it's going to shoot up right now. It's building that bull flag pattern. Do you guys see that? So my loss, $79. So I'm down $39 on the day. So not bad, not horrible. Not great, but not bad. Definitely. I like that. Yeah. Well, oh, you heard that? Yeah. One of our roommates turned on his car. Wow. It found the resistance. Look at that. Well, hey, you win some, you lose some. Holy smokes. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Damn. Well, oh, sorry. I didn't mean to say that word. I apologize. Um, Disappointed but not surprised. Hey, I saw crude oil to have a potential, before this big dip, uh, it was showing signs of this kind of like almost bull flag pattern, right? Where it was building this resistance and stuff like that. I thought it was going to shoot up very aggressively. Why put the other $10 at or $30 at risk? And my biggest focus has been keeping my losses small. So yeah, it didn't go according to plan, and there it goes, right back where I bought it at. Hoo-wee. I know it was consolidating, but I didn't know. I saw it consolidate, but I also thought it was consolidating so it could push up even more for crude oil, which would have not been in my favor. So 5 minute chart looks really good. Let me check that out. I appreciate that, Brad. I think I heard you say it a couple times. I do. Okay, no, I do agree. I just, again, it could have gone either way. Yeah, no, that sucks for me, but it's all good. It was a small position size anyways, right? So I do agree though. The RSI, the MACD, and there it goes. Crude oil about to make lower lows. Are we gonna do it? There it goes. So, hi, I would like you to focus more on the trade, speak less, and play more. No copyright sounds in the background. Yeah, no, I appreciate the feedback. I'll take it as that, right? Natural gas just made lower lows on the day. I'm not going to take a trade when I don't see it to be worth it. So, regardless of what we hope, I wish I could be trading the full 30 minutes as well. But it doesn't play out that way, right? When there's no clear direction, um, I'm I'm here to answer people's questions. I'm here to allow and wait for an opportunity to present itself. And that doesn't come when I want it to. That comes when it presents itself. So I appreciate your feedback though, and uh, yeah, yeah. So I do like the talks though. Oh well, happy to hear that. Change nothing. I like the general comment. Keep doing you, bro. So. I like that. Awkward. All right. I think that's pretty much it as of right now for the day. DGAS making highs. I've been live for quite a while, right? Yeah, an hour and 10 minutes. Sorry for taking so much of your guys' time. There it goes. Ooh. Look at this. Higher highs. A little push up for the boys. Sounds good. Appreciate your time, Devin. All right, guys. What looks like we're in the very early stages of a potential reversal right now for crude oil. But we're not really aggressively making lower lows yet. So, not sure what we got going on here. Natural gas definitely selling off. Yeah, back at it again with the FOMO. I know, kind of second guessing myself too, right? Let's see. It's still super early in this reversal. It wouldn't be such a surprise if we see crude oil hold back up. So that's what I continue to remind myself. It's just like I don't want to be hopeful and just think that it's gonna go like bloop, right? It makes sense on why it could consolidate here too. So. Yeah, John Ball. We did a little explanation in the very beginning of the video, and to put in very short words, yeah. What's the future for DWT and UWT? It's this one /CL. There it goes, picking right back up. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, so I'm gonna go grab some food, and I'm gonna get ready for the day and allow that opportunity to present itself, right? So just a quick little recap. I'm down $39 on the day. Of course, took a loss on crude oil. Not too much of a surprise there. But I appreciate you guys' time. I feel like we covered a lot of breakdowns, a lot of questions, a lot of kind of like thought process behind things. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this live trading session. Feel free to send me feedback on Discord. Keep it short and sweet, right? Let me know what you would like to see, continue to see, and maybe not see, right? But yeah, appreciate you guys' time. Again, it's very early within the day, very early start within the week. Happy Veterans Day. Hope you guys have an amazing and blessed day. Thank you for all those that served or their families that have served. Huge sacrifice. I can't even imagine what that must be like. But I appreciate everything that you guys do. And I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.